we beat Italy, didn't we?
That was a shock.
Well, Italy are shit now anyway.
Thank you for listening to Talking to Our Souls, or to put it another way, to Talking Our Souls. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and may deal with adult topics and adult themes.
Brownstown, we're with you when you fight. Brownstown, walk with the dogs tonight. Brownstown, Cleveland is right behind you.
Bum 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 tish. Hello everybody. Welcome to episode 33, season 3, 27th day of March 23, where we're all bloody liars. It's me, Steve Henn, and over there we have...
I thought this was a white privilege committee. Mr. Singh.
Mr. Singh, doing his impression of Nigel Farage. Now that is what they want.
Boris.
Do you know what though? To be fair,
Sound the same.
you couldn't put a cigarette paper between them on their way they are. I do think he's more liberal though, old Johnson. He's just a fucking liar. This is what James O'Brien says. He'll lie just to get through the next 5 seconds. And I think that was proven, I suppose. But I think, I do think Farage and Johnson are similar in fact that they are both a waste of space.
I was watching GB News for a while, but so I haven't been able to see his reaction to the Windsor Protocol going through yet. So that'd be interesting because Boris voted against it, didn't he?
He did, and so did that person who was Prime Minister for 28 seconds. That'd be a good film, wouldn't it? 28 seconds.
Oh, I forgot her name.
That is a disgrace.
Theresa Lust. Tris May. Theresa Liz Must. Nay. Theresa May. Liz Trust.
Liz Truss. Was it Liz Truss?
Liz Truss.
I've forgotten already.
Wrong.
I tell you what, I wish I was younger because in 30 years, any quiz question with Liz Truss in would be hilarious.
She looks like a pelican. Was it not a pelican? Is it a pelican?
A pelican?
Not a pelican.
Penguin?
No. It's got a beak that curves down quick.
Toucan.
Toucan. Is it a toucan? Could be a toucan.
You're saying she looks like an exotic bird. Have you ever been out with an exotic bird?
I've been shitted on by a few of them.
Just stop it.
From the sky, Steve.
From the sky.
I don't know what you're thinking.
Do you know what I am thinking? And this is just going to be so out there now. I'm sure I've been shat on by flying birds when I was younger, but not so much now. I don't know whether it's because I went out more or there's less birds flying across the skies. Dog shit, you very rarely tread in dog shit anymore. Where when I was growing up, it was everywhere. It would go chalky white on the pavement. That's a bit racist, Jim Davidson.
Well, I think people are having to pick it up now, aren't they? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when I had a dog, you know what I used to do? I used to flatten it out. I used to have a glove and flatten it out on the road.
What, the dog?
No, the poo.
Why?
I was being considerate. Because then you wouldn't go deep in someone's tread when they stepped on it.
Was this recent? Wait, how long? Oh, we talked about your dog, didn't we? And it upset me. No, let's not go down that path. But so that was when dogs. Did you have to pick up dog shit then?
No.
So you just rubbed it into the pavement instead of rubbing it into the carpet. Once I went to Pets R Us and somebody had taken a dog into the vets because there's a vets in Pets R Us and they let him shit on the doorstep before they went in, right? And this was it was just before the pandemic, really. I walked out because I was buying stuff for my gecko. I didn't see this dog turd, and it was a big sloppy one, and I nearly went arse over tip. My leg went shooting out in front of me, and I just got my balance, and then I had to wipe it, but it was on the car park, and my feet snapped, and I couldn't bear to wash my shoes. I just put them in the bin. It was a horrible, sloppy turd. Talking of Boris Johnson, what did you think?
Now, convincing is not the right word, is it? Or is it? Because he didn't convince me, but he was in that manner, you know, that he was really, really coming off that he believed everything that he said, which was a bit scary.
Well, no, I was tweeting along with the Twitterati, and I actually put, this man should get an Oscar. I believe everything he says, yet I know he's lying. And that's what I couldn't formulate in my head. I was watching him thinking, I know what you're saying is not true, but I believe you and I will let you off. If I was in that room, I'd say, you know what? We've all been a bit wrong about this and we forgive you. Because he's right, he does convince you.
Yeah, I think for someone who's shot so many bullets, he's very good at dodging them.
He was, and I do think he will get sanctioned, and because he's shown that he is a liar, like saying that he thought the parties were good for morale when everybody else was suffering. It just, I think he will just suffer.
Yeah, he made some interesting comments when he was swearing on the Bible, didn't he?
Will the clerk to the committee please administer the oath?
Take the Bible and read out the terms.
I swear on your mum's life, Nadine Dorris did not ride me like a rodeo bull till I came. Oh, memories.
I didn't actually remember him saying that at all.
I think I think there's so much going on, Steve. It was 3 hours.
I watched the first sort of 20 minutes, and then I listened to it on the radio and played some Splatoon. But I honestly think that he will get sanctioned, because I think they actually cleverly made him say stuff to make him look that because he actually knew, because he says that he doesn't know the rules. He knows the rules, because people don't make up the rules. They say, Prime Minister, we've discussed this and we think for the population we should do this, that and the others. What do you think, Prime Minister? He said, well, yeah, I suppose I should tell them. That's a much better way. Do you think that, or should we do it another way? Or could you go away and come back with another idea? So they would have told him all the ideas until he stood up in front of people with a big fucking flag behind him and saying, stay alert. And so he knew everything, and he does, and he was just whinging.
I think that's his approach to life, isn't it? I'm married, and the rules are I can't have sexual relations with anyone else, and I don't, because I don't call it sexual relations. I'll call it a bit of nookie in the cranny.
Nookie in the cranny. That could be your record. You could do a song. Av sings Nookie in the Cranny.
What's it? Boris goes into Nookie in the Cranny.
Oh,
Nadine.
Don't.
Nadine.
That woman, absolutely bonkers. Bonkers.
The committee have demonstrated very clearly to find him guilty. The committee knew that they had not a shred of evidence to prove that he misled with intent. Boris Johnson will be found guilty by this kangaroo court and end the career of a former Prime Minister, and that in itself will be a disgraceful and possibly unlawful conclusion with serious reputational consequences.
We should move on from Boris, I suppose. Do you reckon he'll get suspended for more than 5 days?
No. I think he'll be bang on the limit. Because if it goes over a certain limit, that's when it goes into...
Yeah, if it goes to 10 days, I think it is, then they demand a by-election. If it was me, and I wanted to make a strong point, I would say 9 days. The Conservatives don't want another fucking by-election, even if it is Boris Johnson. But then I do feel there is a thing against him. I think, Rishi has come out and said quite a few things that suggest he's not really, he hasn't backed Boris. There was a lot of right-wing commentators saying that he breezed through it, and I think they missed the point, because I think all the committee wanted to know was actually what he believed and said at that time, and everything I think he said, if you listen to it, has actually hurt him more. I think he'll definitely be found guilty, but I don't think they'll punish him. I don't think they'll go nuclear on him and make him lose his seat, but I would love that to happen.
It's split, isn't it? Everyone who supports him says, "Oh yeah, he did a great convincing job." Or if you Jacob Rees-Mogg, well, I think that he was fantastic. I talk like a massive prick on TV, condescending cock. I love Boris.
Cock. Oh, sorry.
I'm working on that one still.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Everyone, that was Rupert the Bear, Jacob Rees-Mogg. He did say that the court of public opinion was with Boris on that, didn't he? Afterwards, he said on Channel 4 News that the court of public opinion. Did you see Question Time?
No.
Do you know what the Question Time audience is made up of? Don't say any rude words. Do you know what the proportion of people is? Because they have to have a balanced audience. Do you know how they do the balance? Whoever won the last election, right? So
Right.
The percentage of people that voted for Conservatives are the percentage of people in the audience, and the percentage of people that voted Labour are in the audience. So there's always going to be more Conservative audience members in Question Time since 2019, because that's what they do on the election, right? So on Thursday, she asked the audience, them if they thought Boris Johnson was telling the truth when he was in front of the committee, and this is what happened.
More people in this audience who voted for Boris Johnson, for the Conservative Party, than for any other single party here. So let's have a show of hands, shall we? Who believes Boris Johnson was telling the truth yesterday?
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
That is the court of public opinion. If you're listening to this, nobody put their hand up, but you could probably guess that, I think.
But what would have been interesting is the next question should have been, how many of you would like to see him back as Prime Minister?
This is the thing, I think, as well, with the vote against the Windsor Agreement, because there's about 28 who voted against it. I don't think the Conservatives back him anymore. I mean, there's 45 abstained.
Yeah, there's about 40 odd, yeah.
I think the guy who watched tractor porn abstained his pants. There's a joke in there somewhere, Steve, if you want to look for it. Gav's not laughing, so I know it's a good
I don't want to look any deeper for stains, Steve, than I have to.
The court of public opinion is definitely not for Boris Johnson. Hopefully this will be the end of him in politics. Rishi's doing well. I don't like him, but I think it's too late. But I think he's strengthening the core of Conservatives, which is a bit of a pisser for me.
Hunt. Because I've been talking about increasing the pension age to 68. Right? And they're saying they were expecting it in this.
They were.
In this,
they were.
They were.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do it. So the word on the street is Downing Street. That is. They're going to wait till after the election, and if they win, then they're going to introduce it, because obviously it's going to work against them to do it now.
Oh God, definitely it would work against them.
Yeah.
But I do think Labour will bring it in anyway.
Yeah, but if you look what's happening in France, they're bloody burning stuff up, going up 64.
This is what made me. I thought when I heard it and they said, "Oh, they're moaning about the pension age in France," I thought, "Fucking hell! If ours is 67, they must be really mad if it's that." And it's from 62 to 64, and they're going absolutely bonkers. And do you know what we did when the pension age went up? We sent a strongly worded petition. But I think it has to happen, though. This is the scary thing, because people aren't dying as much. Although the Conservatives are trying their best to get rid of a lot of people now by not giving them enough heat, not giving them enough money. God knows what's going to happen. There's people being born now who won't get a pension.
No, they won't. They won't. You got this automatic. Was it the auto enroll one?
Say that again.
Auto enroll pension scheme. The employer.
I thought you were talking about being strangled and sucking on an orange, but that's auto asphyxiation, isn't it? So sorry.
Oh, but no, I didn't think about that, Steve.
Nor do I.
That's there to replace the pension. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, there was something I wanted to show you though. Did you see the picture of Rishi Sunak with the Albanian Prime Minister? And people were saying it was photoshopped, and I don't think it was photoshopped. I think this is actually how small our Prime Minister is.
Bloody hell. Didn't really wish he was that big.
I know. Actually, to be fair, no, I did that. That is Photoshop. But this is the original. There's not much difference. There really isn't much difference.
I thought you was going to put image of the Albanian leader on a dinghy. I was surprised. I thought any chance of him coming over here, Cyril Brave would have jumped on him and make sure get back out of here. You're increasing our numbers.
It's too big to fit in a fucking dinghy. Oh, we beat the shit out of Ukraine. I think that's a bit unfair, really, because we're giving them the Eurovision Song Contest, we're giving them all these tanks and planes and money, and we go and beat them at football.
No, Steve, you got that wrong. We're giving all the money, all the tanks, all the weapons, all the ammunitions, right? And what do we get in return? We get Eurovision in Liverpool. That's a fair deal. That is, that's for democracy.
I would take that. I would take murdering small people and old people over the Eurovision any day. I don't know what that meant when I said that, but let's hope it doesn't sound too bad. I wanted to talk about trans athletes, but that's a hot potato.
Yeah. Well, that was is it Sebastian Cole? Is it Sebastian Cole? Sebastian Cole?
Sebastian.
Yeah. He doesn't like the transsexuals, does he?
I don't get it in a way. I do get it in some ways, and I don't get it in another, because apparently there's only 28 transgender athletes, from what I heard on the radio the other day. I don't know if that's true, but they've done a study at. Why do you go to university? To study how many trans athletes there are in the world.
Do you say this? The university starts with an L. Was it the ladies' university?
No,
I'm a lady university.
Stop it, right? I believe in fairness, and I can see what they're trying to say. But if there's only 28 athletes worldwide, they obviously want to transition. They're not doing it to win. I can't see people transitioning just to win at sport. I can't see it. They're obviously doing it because that's it, it's important to them. So on one part, I'm thinking, well, if it's important to them, then let's not make it difficult. Let's be helpful. And then on the other hand, I'm thinking, well, is it fair if people are stronger? Somebody's saying you allow left-handed tennis players to play against right-handed tennis players. You keep boxers separate, heavyweight, and so I don't know. It's a big thing, but honestly, 28 people. Let's find a better way of doing it.
I think they're probably just thinking, let's sort of do it now before it becomes a bigger issue. Like as if there's more trans athletes coming in. Let's knock it. Because as this is the interview, he did say that doing this at the moment because they haven't got enough scientific data. So he's not saying this is going to stick for the considerable future. Yeah, so he's kind of left it open a little bit there.
I think he was. Yeah, I think he was ambiguous enough. I think it's a difficult ball game.
When you got balls involved, Steve, you don't know.
But it's a tricky. Did he play? No, he didn't play football, did he? He just ran quite.
No, he was a runner.
Uh,
Long distance runner.
I don't know.
He can't run now, Steve.
He can't run.
Because his balls are dangling, trip over him.
Don't. Oh, God. Do you know? Ugh. Getting old can be very, very awkward. I've had to buy bigger socks to keep them warm. I think I could finish on that, I
wish you finished before you said it.
So, join us again next week when we talk exclusively from our souls.
Brownstown, Cleveland is right behind you.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe and share this because it will help us. And don't forget to tune in next week, 8 p.m. Mondays. Ta-ra! So